Hello everyone and welcome back. We have a surprise video from CIG this morning, another Behind the Ships episode for the brand new and coming with 4.3 Kruger L-21 Wolf light fighter. Everything that I've seen so far is it looks like this ship it's very nice looking. I think they've knocked it out of the park with this, with everything on it. So we're going to go through some parts of the video today and talk about just some little things that I noticed about the ship. Go through some probably its features, its weapons, its components, all those sorts of things, and speculate as maybe what the price will be and talk about a few other little things like that. So if you want to see some of my thoughts on the upcoming Kruger L-21 Wolf, then let's go ahead and get straight into it. All right, so first little thing that I noticed right here in sort of the intro, we can see this is on the back of the ship. We have what appears to be an engine that looks really cool. That's specifically on the back, which from the concept, it looks like they mostly went with concept A that they had showed us several months ago, and that particular design did not have an engine on the center back of the ship here, so it looks like that was added as part of production. And as we'll see more, there's quite a bit of really nice detail work done on the back half here with some kind of exposed piping, and just where the engine is, it just has a very nice high performance, but I don't know, mechanical, just a nice look to it. Here we get a nice look from the front left of the ship. You can see it kind of, the way that its gear are set up, looks like it has a gear kind of down in the back here, and then a gear under each of the side engine pods. It looks like it kind of leans back just a little bit, and as they mentioned in another part of the video, it kind of has a slight look of like a speedboat or like a high performance boat you might see. And there also is a little fin that they have that they'll show here at some point that they said was inspired by that that callback to that sort of thing. Here we have a little bit of a shot reminiscent of a scene in The Mandalorian where the Mandalorian he's in his N1 starfighter that he got, and he gets like pulled over by some X-Wings. Just a nice little homage to that scene there. Here we get a little bit of a look at one of the paints that looks like we'll have for it. Nice kind of red. You can see that fin up there a little bit. All right, here is a good shot from the top of the ship. So here you get your first pretty good look of the weaponry of the Kruger L-21 Wolf. From what I can tell, these look to be size 4 weapons, but you may notice that they don't really look like any other gun that we have at the moment in the game. So, and I don't think they specifically say it in this video, but how they look, how they operate, these are ballistic Gatlings. They do, I'm pretty sure these are going to be bespoke weapons to this ship, just because of the kind of unique housing. And you'll see here, they kind of fold away into the hole. They have a little really nice little animation. But that's at least weaponry-wise, looks like you'll get 2 size 4s, ballistic only, so, you know, I'm not the happiest about that. If they maybe gave us maybe there's a little kit you could get with it that gives you, like, laser Gatlings instead, that would probably be quite nice as well. Otherwise, you can, of course, see the very smooth chrome-like panel lines here, which we haven't really seen on almost any other ships, so I think it's definitely been a bit of a learning experience for the ship team to figure out kind of how to best make a ship that is just very smooth with very little panel lines and whatnot. You can see the cockpit there sits, I'd say, about, I don't know, 60 to 70% back on the ship, which is also not super common for fighters. So interesting little touch there. And then last thing on this shot, you can see there's some sort of component bay right in front of the cockpit, maybe your power plant, quantum drive, something like that, and then probably a little refueling port. Here you get a nice good look at some of the details on the engines. So again, they've intentionally kind of exposed some of the piping and the wiring and stuff. They have this nice little I don't know what you'd call this, just this little area that has some little lighting effects around it as well. There's a lot of little subtle blue lighting effects on some parts of the ship that will definitely add to the overall silhouette and look of it that I think makes it look really, really nice.
The vehicle has two
Here you
side-fold
can see
Gatlings,
the
gimbal 5
animation
degrees
for
in
the
all
guns folding
directions.
out. Now, something I noticed if you look down here on the MFD, which there are some new MFD stylings for this ship and for Kruger, I assume. Right here when he's firing, it says there's about 3,800 rounds or so on these guns. So that's actually quite a bit of ammo for size 4 ballistics. I think right now, the Revenant Gatling has about 2,000 rounds per gun. So this is close to double that, which is really might actually make this okay to use for prolonged engagements, because maybe by the time you start to run out of ammo, the ship's already been pretty well beat up, and so you have to go repair, or just the ship's gone anyways. So we'll have to see how they're tuned and how much damage they actually do. But if they can have the ammo counts be quite high like that, it actually might not be too bad to use if you're stuck with just the ballistics. You can see here they just fired some missiles, but looks like you have some bespoke little missile racks in the area between the engine and the main body. Maybe you can consider this a little bit of a wing. So it looks like 4 on each side. Looks like size 1, so 8 size 1 missiles. That's a decent little missile payload. I did wonder if this area here was any additional weaponry or anything, but it doesn't really look like it. Looks like this is going to be probably sort of an intake for the main engine, or some of your retro thrusters, I would guess. And you can see up on the nose, I'm sure this is replicated on the other side, some more of that bluish white lighting. Very nice looking. We got what appears to be some more component bays right here and right here. Another little lighting area down on near the bottom of the ship, and then got a little on the side here, probably another little fuel port. So just nice little details. They got all the components in, so this shouldn't be a ship that we have to worry about getting a gold standard or anything like that. So that's always good when the ships come out ready to go for all that sort of stuff. And the visibility, yeah, they mentioned the visibility looks like it'll be quite good. There's not really any struts or anything on the cockpit, so you can see really well in front, at the sides, above you, even behind you. If you use like head tracking, you'll be able to see pretty well behind you. It's just below that you won't, but being in a fighter, that's not as big of a deal, I think. This seems to be a new, I think, entry animation. Let me replay that again. A little animation to get into the ship here. Look, it looks new to me, or at least refined from what we have now, and it looks faster than a lot of the other animations. Let me just play it one more time here.
Look, the dash is such a strong shape. I've not seen the shape.
Yeah, it seems pretty quick that you just hop in real fast and that canopy just comes down real quick. I mean, if we could have that for other ships, it'd be pretty nice. That's something that does always, it can get annoying sometimes, just the length of some of the animations to get in the pilot seat and climb up the ladder and all that. So we'll have to see. But that looks pretty nice to me. And also, I just noticed in right here, we can see 4,200. So that's, I'm assuming, is the full capacity amount of ammo you get on both of these guns, which that puts it at more than double the capacity of a like a Revenant Gatling. So then, depending on the damage that it does, which we'll have to see, that could actually make it a decent option for, just ignore everyone's shields and use some 2 big size 4s to take them out. So we'll have to see how the damage profile ends up being. Here you can see the animation of the gear coming up and that little fin coming out the bottom. Again, that might give you a little bit of an advantage when we get like control surfaces in. I think right now it's mostly just an artistic thing, and I do see right here, this looks like another paint that looks to be a pretty dark gray, not quite black, it looks like. And then it looks kind of yellow to me. Maybe it's meant to be more gold looking. This might be like the concierge paint for this ship. It looks pretty good. I'm hoping there was that red one that we saw earlier. There's probably going to be, maybe 2 or 3 more beyond that. I think there's definitely a lot of good paints that I could see coming in for this ship. So we'll have to see what we end up getting. But everything's looking very, very nice so far. And these engines, man, they look so good. Like you can see the on the base here and kind of on the side, it's like that burnt metal sort of texture that even a little bit of that you can see on some of like the Wicklow paints. Just phenomenally detailed. And I can't wait to hear what like the sounds are like, the little animations of things moving, the engine sounds. I think this might be a ship that, in the last monthly report, they said that there was a ship that was going through like a final gate review with all the teams that was helping to set new standards for a bunch of different disciplines like animation and sound and VFX and all that. And I think that might be this ship because again, this is beautiful. So we'll have to see how it ends up being. But I'd love to hear what you think down in the comments. Are you planning on picking this up? What price do you think this is going to come in at? I'm thinking anywhere between... it should be, because it's a light fighter, it probably should be somewhere around the Arrow to the Gladius price. But I wouldn't be surprised if they push up a little bit beyond that, as they've kind of had a habit of doing this year. So I would say at the most... I would like to see it for is probably 110, maybe 120 at like the absolute most. Anything beyond that, though, I think it's just too much. So let me know what you think on price-wise down in the comments. What else, what other thoughts you have on the ship? Do you think you're going to pick one up? But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the little bit of a breakdown, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to receive more videos on Star Citizen ship updates and general updates. We should be getting some pretty good updates for the roadmap this week, the progress tracker. There's going to be a tech preview that was going to happen today for Evocati, but that's going to be on Wednesday instead. They had to move it. So we're going to be getting some other stuff like that. We might have a Star Citizen Live or a Inside Star Citizen on Thursday. We'll have to see. But if you want to just keep up on all of that, I will keep you up to date with all those things. So just make sure you're subscribed. Turn on notifications if you want to get those as well. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, I will see you in the verse.